Yes, we are now joined by Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. He joins me now. Senator, great to have you back on the program.
Hey, Guy, it's good to be on with you.
Well, I mean, it's pretty special to see what some of the Democrats are saying these days. I want to read you a quote that I just saw come across from Senator Durbin, who, of course, is a member of the Judiciary Committee, also a member of Senate Democratic leadership. He says, quote, "There's no serious conversation among my colleagues about this prospect, talking about court packing if the Democrats win. It is speculative. It is in the future, if at all." So Durbin's trying to play down this thing, kind of like it's this crazy conspiracy theory from conservatives who are worried about court packing. But, Senator, unless I'm on some hallucinogenic drugs right now, I'm pretty sure the reason we're talking about court packing is because the Democrats are outwardly, aggressively talking about court packing and have been for the better part of a year. Yes?
Yes, Guy. It's important to point out that all of the terrible things the Democrats are threatening to do if we move forward with the president's Supreme Court nominee, they have been promising to do for months. Barack Obama stood in the pulpit of a eulogy and talked about Senate floor procedure. The filibuster. Now, I haven't been to many funerals in which they talk about Senate floor procedure, but that just goes to show you how important this issue is to them. If they get control of the Senate and Joe Biden wins the White House, they plan to nuke the filibuster so they can pack the Supreme Court, so they can make Washington, D.C. a state and add 2 new senators, to eliminate the Electoral College so presidential elections will be decided in a handful of megacities, to grant amnesty and immediate voting rights to 15 million illegal immigrants, and to pass Nancy Pelosi's crazy voting bill that will mandate nationwide mail-out balloting without photo ID or even signature verification. They have said all these things. They're saying them again since Friday. These are not reasons that Republicans should refuse to do our constitutional job. These are reasons that American people should not trust Democrats with power in November.
See, this is the thing, because we hear from some people, even some people that I respect, like my friend David French, my friend Jonah Goldberg, on our side saying maybe we should strike a deal where the Republicans will agree not to fill the seat before the election, the Democrats will agree not to do all this norm-busting, crazy, wild-eyed stuff. And to me, it would be sort of like Donald Trump coming out and saying, okay, we've got a deal for Chuck. And the deal would be this. You guys allow us to confirm Amy Coney Barrett, and in return, I will accept the outcome of the election. Right? I mean, that's sort of, and I won't tell my supporters to go on the streets because the election was rigged. That's not a deal. That's extortion. Right? I mean, that's what that would be. It would be completely, it would be totally received as an outrageous thing for him to do. But that's exactly what the Democrats here are sort of demanding.
Yeah, of course, Guy. We're not going to engage in any kind of negotiations like that. We're not going to ask the Democrats, who, by the way, were the first ones to ever filibuster nominees in the first place back in 2001 and 2002 and 2003, who were the first ones to nuke the filibuster for nominees in 2013, just 7 years after they made a similar deal with Republicans.
Right.
We are going to perform our constitutional responsibilities, and these threats should be on the minds of every American when they go to vote. And if you don't want the Democratic Party to pack the Supreme Court, if you don't want to have amnesty for 15 million illegal immigrants with immediate voting rights, then you should vote for Republicans this fall.
Yeah. Let me ask you this strategically, and we had one of your colleagues on earlier, Senator Perdue. We have your colleague, Senator McSally, on later. They are both in the middle of tough re-election or tough elections in their states. So I asked them this question. I'll put the same question to you. To me, it seems with this 51 votes that have been wrangled together here by Leader McConnell, and it looks like basically everyone's on board. Even Murkowski might come back on board, it sounds like. Regardless, there's a simple majority, it sounds like, to move forward and possibly confirm whoever the nominee is, assuming that this person, she, is qualified and performs fine. To me, the question now is, when does that happen? Does it happen after the election, which would keep this a live issue through November 3rd, which could, at least theoretically, boost turnout and enthusiasm on the Republican side. It could help some of these senators, especially in redder states, hang on in their tough races. That's one theory of it. The other theory is do it before the election because elections are unpredictable. And if things go the wrong way from the Republican perspective and the Democrats sweep, I'm not sure it would be the right thing to do, and I'm not sure there would be the political will to actually move forward with that vote after a sweeping loss in a lame duck session, right? So you'd go in that hypothetical 0 for 3, lose the presidency, lose the Senate, and lose this historic opportunity on the Supreme Court. I'm kind of leaning in the pre-election direction. What are you hearing, and what do you think should happen?
Guy, I can tell you this. We're going to be careful, thorough, deliberate, just like we were with Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh. We will move forward without delay. The president has said that he'll make his nomination on Saturday. We will immediately begin the normal process of vetting the nominee's backgrounds, of scheduling meetings with the nominee. I suspect that Lindsey Graham will announce the hearing schedule. And there is more than enough time, if all that happens, to confirm this nominee before the election. That'll be 38 days before the election, starting on Saturday. Justice O'Connor was confirmed in 33 days. Justice Stevens was confirmed in 19 days. You could have confirmed Justice Stevens twice in the amount of time we had.
Right.
I would further add that if, as reported, this nominee is a recent judge that we've confirmed to the Court of Appeals, there's not much more that we need to review and vet. If we confirmed...
Should there be hearings regardless?
I think we should have hearings, but again, all these judges who have been confirmed in the last 3.5 years have already had a hearing, and some of them are pretty probing and searching. And in their 1, 2, or 3 years on the court, we're only talking about a few dozen opinions.
That's an interesting point. That's a very interesting point.
So if it is a sitting federal judge who was confirmed in the last 3.5 years, there's simply not much new material that we need to review as the Senate.
Senator, we've got to leave it there. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, my guest here on the Guy Benson Show. More coming up.